Guys, welcome to Java JSON, and in this video we are going to talk about collectors methods. Okay, so whatever the methods I have written here, you can see those are the collectors methods, and let's see some of the methods, like how we can use it and how we can utilize it also. Because while doing a coding of the Java 1.8 features, okay, that time it's a very important. So collector class is very important, and also streams classes also. Okay, so let's go and do the practice of some of the methods, which is like where we can use toList, where we can use toSet, where we can use toMap. Like that, there is so many questions we can arise, and we can write a code for that, and we can see like what is the way to write a code for it. Okay, so let's go to my Eclipse. Okay, and then we can see. So let me go to my Eclipse here. I'm going to open my Eclipse, and inside the Eclipse you can see I have given the class name called collectors method test. Okay, and I have already created the main method also. Let me write, okay, and let me create one of the list, and then I will show you what is the use of toList and toSet. So for example, I have a one list, okay, and let me import it. Okay, control and space you have to give, and inside the list I'm going to store some of the integer value. Okay, so let me import it. My system is little bit slow, but let me write. So this is integer. Okay, and here I have given the name called list, and let me store the data with the arrays. Okay, so we have a one arrays classes which is available in java.util. Okay, we can take the help of those classes, and inside these classes having a method called addList, and whatever the value we have we can pass here. So for example, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see that much of the value only, and then we can see. So we have to give here comma, not dot. Okay, comma. Let me format it, and let me give the semicolon that is required. Okay, so once it is format, what we have to do is we have to check, okay, like whatever the list we have, so how we can use the toList methods. Okay, so for example, I want to find out inside this list the value which is the even numbers, right? So what I will do is here I will write list dot stream dot maybe the filter, and through the filter I will try to use the lambda expressions, and through the lambda expression I will check if any of the element which is modulo division with the 2 equal to 0, it means that number is a even numbers. So I will collect. So we have a collect method in the stream, we can say, and we can collect those method with the help of collector method. Okay, collectors methods. So we have a collector, collectors, collectors. So you can see here java.util.collectors, which is available in the stream. So we can use this collectors classes. Okay, and inside these collectors we have a toList method, right? And those toList method you can use, and you can store those data inside the one list. Let me maximize it. Okay, so if you see here we have given one semicolon. So this is the code to find out the even numbers, but what at the end of time we have converted the particular whatever the data we have into the one list. Okay, so collector.list we have written, so because of that it will convert the data inside the list, and once we enter the control and 1, if you press, it will give the suggestion to store this data in one of the list type of the variables, and it will create it also. Okay, and here you can give the even numbers. Okay, those are the even numbers, and after that, okay, in the next line you can print those data easily. So you can write s out, okay, even numbers, whatever the even numbers we have. So even numbers we can print it here. Let me run this code. Okay, so once I run this code, you can see the output, okay, here. What is the output? 2 and 4. So 2 and 4 are the even numbers. Okay, you can see the output, right? In the same way, if you give some more value like 6, 7, 8, 9 or something 10, okay, so in that also they will find the whatever the even numbers we have, and it will convert in one list and it will return for us. Okay, so you can see this value 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, those are the even numbers value, and we can easily write in a code for that. Okay, so this is the use of toList. Okay guys, in the same way, this is the use of toList, toList method. And let's take the example of toSet. toSet is also very important. Okay, the same code I'm going to copy, okay, and I'm going to paste into the next line. Okay, same code, and only difference is I will give the list 2 here. Okay, otherwise I can give the set here. List is fine, list 2, and inside the list I'm going to give some of the duplicate values. So for example, we have some value, it's a up to 10, but after that also I'm going to give some of the value called 2, 3, 5. So those are the duplicate value. Okay, and I have to write a code to find out the duplicate value, otherwise remove the duplicate value from the list. So if you see this list, inside the list having in some of the duplicate value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to find out the only unique value, we have to remove the duplicate. So what we can do, so in the simple way, what we can do is in the same way, okay, in the same way we can remove this, okay, and we can remove the filter also. Okay, and this is the collect. Let me remove it, and instead of giving the toList, we can write the toSet. Okay, and if you try to store this data, it will give one set of the integers. So what we are doing basically here is we have a list of the streams, we are calling the collect method, and while collecting we are storing the data inside the set. But what is the behavior of set? So set will not store the duplicate data. So while storing a data only, it will filter it and it will not store the duplicate data. So at the end of the time, you can see this is not unique number. Let me copy unique numbers and paste here. One more thing, this is the list 2, so you have to make it here list 2. Okay, and then after you can run this code and you can see the output. What is the output? And if you see the output, it's saying like 1, 2, 3. Let me maximize it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not given the duplicate value, which is 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Because we have stored those data, we have printed those data, and while storing those data we have converted to the set. So because of that, it's removed it. Okay guys, so as of now you understood what is the use of toSet method and how we can use it. So same way we can use the set, and in the same way we can use the list also, because in the toList and toSet there is no difference. Okay, only things is it's based on your conditions. If you want to store in the set, you can store in the set. If you want to store in the list, you can store in this list. we have a toMap method. What is the method? toMap. So this is the list and this is the set, this is the map. So for map also it's a very easy, it's not a very difficult. Okay, so what we can do is, for example, we have to give this data into the index point of view. So for example, we have those data. Okay, let me copy this line of the code only. Okay, and after that here I will give the map. So this is the list we have, which is list number 3 I will give. Okay, and we have some of the data which is more data, so I will remove those. Okay, and also what I'm going to do is, here I have to store the into some map, into the map. So list of 2, so I will convert it list 3 dot stream and collectors dot toMap. Okay, collectors dot toMap map. So this is the predicate. It will take two function, one is key and one is value, and both will take as a function only. So what we can do is, here we can write one of the value which is like that, whatever the list 3 we have. Okay, so from the list 3, okay, we can store the 0 index positions here. Okay, and here we can store the 1 positions. Okay, e dot. Okay, and here also we have to write e dot, I think. So list dot stream dot collect, and we have to collect those map with the help of this value. Otherwise, if you are not able to write like that, what you can do is, you can provide the value here directly also. Okay, so whatever the value we have, which is key and value pairs, you can pass here and you can write a code for that. Okay, but let me write a code in the broadly labels. Okay, for that what we can do is, we can create one class. Okay, so let me create one class, and I will give the class name called maybe the student. Okay, and inside the student I'm going to take two variable. One is private int is, and one is private string name. So this is the two value we have. Okay, right? And in that value only, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to generate the getter, setters, okay, and constructor also. So those value I will generate first. Let me save it these classes. And source, you can go to the source, right click and go to the source, generate the getter setter methods. Easily you can generate, you don't want to write in lots of the code. So it generated the getter setters. Now what we have to do is, we can generate the toString methods. So go to the source, generate toString methods. Nice. You can generate the constructor also, parameterize or non-parameterize, whatever you want. So you can go and generate the constructor using the field. Okay, and in the same way we can generate the default constructor also. Okay, you can just copy and paste those code and remove those data, remove this parameter also. So it will create the default constructor also. Okay, so this is the code we have created for the student. And what we are going to do here is, for the map we are going to create a multiple object. Okay, so for example, we have a multiple student of the list. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create one list, inside the list I will store the student data. Okay, and inside the student I will write student equal to new array list, right? And then after students dot add here I will add some of the student. Okay, so how we can add? We have to create the object of the students, and then after you can add it here. We can pass age, so age is maybe 21, our name is called Ajit. Okay, like that data we have. Let's copy this line of the code and give 2-3 times and change the value, which is 22 or 25. Change the name also. Okay, and write like that. Okay, so this is the list of the data we have added also. Now we have to apply the toMap function to make it, this is the key and this is the value. So name age is nothing but key and value is nothing but value. We have to convert it. So what we can do here, so we can write the same code only, whatever the list we have. So we can write here student, and those student list we have to convert into the stream. After streams we can write a collect methods, and after collect we can write a collectors. Okay, and collectors is very important classes, and this collectors having a toMap method. We can use the toMap method, and here you can write whatever the students we have. So a student and method reference, and here you can write get age. Okay, and in the same way we can write here a student. Okay, a student, and then after you can write method reference and get name. This is the two things you have to write. That's it. Once you write, you can see the error is removed, but once you click Ctrl 1, it will store in one of the map, and this map is nothing but this is storing the integer or string value, which is nothing but your what is and name, which is integer and string value. Now what you can do, you can easily print this data. Okay, s out collect, and if you see the output you can understood, okay, this is the use of map. So if you see the output, let me show the output to you. So 21 is Ajit, 22 is Ajay, 25 is Sonu. This is the data you can see, it's stored and converted into the map. Okay, I will show you the code also. So this is the collector. So let me write like that. So sprint.stream, first convert it to the stream, then after collect, and then after you can convert to the map. But while converting to the map, you have to pass here what? Method reference. Here you can pass the lambda expressions also, but I have passed the method reference. Okay, this is the method reference, and with the help of the method reference I have assigned those data into the one collect map, and then after I have printed, this is the data. So this is the three way we can use the toMap, toSet, toList. So basically map we are using where we have a requirement to store the data into the key and value pair. For example, in this case we have a list of the student, but we have to store those data into the key and value pair. That time we have to take the help of this toMap function, and we can easily convert the key value pair with the help of age and name of the student. Okay, now let us see the example of two concurrent hash map, or how to use two concurrent map and how to use two collections. Okay, so these are also important. Okay, so we can just see it like how it will work. Okay, let's go to the our Eclipse and we can discuss about it. Okay, what is the use of it and what we can do with that one. So as of now we have discussed those things. Let's talk about the map. Okay, two concurrent map. So here if you talk about two concurrent map, okay, two concurrent map. Okay, so what we have to do is basically we have a sum of the for example we have a some list, which list having a sum of the data. Okay, so data may be the something called string, okay, or something. Okay, so for example we have a some string of the data, and I will give here a string, and I will give the list nothing but 4. Okay, and inside this I will give some called Java is one string, is another string, and sum is another string. So this is some of the strings, okay, we have. Okay, and this is the nothing but list, which is list 4. And what I have to do is I have to make it first key is a index, okay, which is key, and another part of the elements we have to convert to the uppercase, and we have to store it into the key value pair. Okay, so in that case we can use the collectors or two concurrent map. Okay, so what we can do here, for example we have a list, so I'm going to take the help of the list 4, and list 4 I will convert into the stream, and after the streams I can convert it to the, I will take the help of the collect, and in collect we can take the help of the collectors. Okay, and collectors, which is from the java.ut.stream package. And after collectors, okay, we have a method called two concurrent, okay, map, and this function we can take the help. And inside this function what I'm going to do is I have to make first, which is in the map key is nothing but the first element, index of the element. So what I have to do, for example element is e, so use the lambda expression, and through the lambda expressions we can take the first element. Okay, so e dot caret, so we can find out the first character, which is index of 0, okay, into the string. And then after into the value, inside the value what we can put it, we can store the value as a uppercase. So whatever the value we have, so for example we have a sum of the string, okay, so string string, and we can take the help of the method reference and to uppercase. We have a method called to uppercase or lowercase, you can use it, and through that this is the key and this is the value. Whenever you want to use it, with the help of anything you have to convert into the concurrent hash map, you can write like that, and you can easily convert those particular data, those particular streams of the data into the one of the map, which is concurrent map. And those concurrent map, what you can do, you can print it easily. Okay, so how you can print it easily, so let me go to the next line of the code, and here I will write s out, okay, and collect to I have to write it, and once I print it you can see the output. Okay, so let me print. So you can see the output here. A is sum, I is, and J is Java, but it's not stored as a uppercase, right? So I think what I have taken to lowercase, but I don't want to into the lowercase, I have to take it to the uppercase. Okay, so I have to write here uppercase. So once I write the uppercase, our requirement will done. Okay, so if you see here, all the data is making to the capital letter, and first letter of the element is a key. Okay, so this is the data. Let me split it so that you can understand in a better way. So this is the stream. After stream we have applied the collect, and after collect we have applied the two concurrent hash map. Okay, and let me break here, and then you can see this is the uppercase and lowercase we have converted, and we have find out it. Okay, so this is the code you have to write. In the same way, if I talk about, in the same way I have to talk about, maybe we have some list of the data. Let's take the same data. Okay, let's take the same data, and we have to check to collection method is also available inside the collectors classes only. So we can check how we can use this method. Okay, in the same way what we can do is, we have a one list. Let me give the name of 5, and this list I have to convert into the collections. So what I can do is, for example, I have a list 5 dot stream, so I will convert into the stream. After stream I will use the collect, and after collect I will use the collectors, which is utility class dot to collections. You can see this is the methods are available, and inside the collections it will take the predicate as a supplier. So what I will do is, here I will convert this data into the maybe it's a list, so we can convert into the set also here. Okay, so how we can convert into the set? So for that we can write here maybe the linked list, yeah, linked sets. Okay, linked hash set. Okay, and we can create the object for that, and we can store it simply, and here you can give the semicolon. So those collections will return one of the hash set. If you write here any other collection, for example some other collections, maybe the array list, or maybe the linked list, maybe the tree set or something, in that type of the collection they will convert it with the help of two collections method, and after that you can print those data. Okay, let me print this data, which is s out collect 3. Okay, and let me print once so you can see the output. So what is the output? So output is Java is some. Okay guys, so I hope you understood what is the use of those method. Okay, and next method we can discuss it. Now let's talk about the counting method. Counting is really very important method, and summing int also very important methods. Average int very important method. Min by, max by, grouping by, those are the very important methods. Okay, so without those method you can't do a one line of the code in the Java Stream API. Okay, so basically if you see here, what is the use of counting method? It's return the count of the numbers of the input numbers. Okay, if you go with the summing int, you can see it returns a collectors that calculate the sum of the input element as int. Okay, in the same way you can do the work on the integer, long, double. So we have a method for that. Apart from this we don't have. Okay, so this is, let's take the example of the counting method, and we can try to write a code for that. Okay, so if you see the counting methods, okay, so what is the use of basically counting methods? Okay, so let me create one class so that you can understand in a better way. Okay, so I'm going to create a class called collectors method, collector method dot test2. Okay, and this is the class. Okay, and in this class I'm going to create quickly one min method. Okay, and after that I will create one list. Okay, and inside the list, for example, we have some integer value. Okay, and let me write a list. Okay, so list dot list of, and we can give some of the value. For example, 1, 2, So 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, that's it. Okay, those are the value we have, and we have to write a sum of the function. We have to use the function called counting, and we have to know about how many value are present inside the list. We can see like list dot size also, but we have to do with the stream API. So let me convert first list to the stream, and if you convert to the streams, what will happen, this will return one stream object. Okay, if you see here. Okay, so I don't want any stream object, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream after I will try to collect. Okay, and inside the collect we can use the collectors. Okay, without collect you can't use this directly, so we have to make sure we have to first use the collect, and then after collectors dot to counting. And you can use this counting method which is not taking any parameters, and it will return how many values are available inside this particular list. So 1 2 3 4 5, so output will be 5. Let me print it. Okay, let me cancel first, and let me control space and print the collect. So collect is nothing but sum of, not a sum of, how many elements are available inside this, those it will print it. If you see the output here, it's a 5. Let me run one more times. So it's a 5. If you give some of the value called something like that, so it will print 6. Okay guys, so I hope you understood how we can use the counting methods, and we can count how many numbers are available. In the same way, if I talk about, for example, we have a 1 2 3 4 5 value, and again I have repeated 1 2 and 1 2 3, and I want to find the frequency of each element. For example, 1 frequency I want, 2 frequency I want. It means how many ones are present in this list, how many twos are present in the list. We can do those things also with the help of the counting methods only. Okay, so in that case also you can count it. Okay, how we can write a code for that. Okay, so if you want to write a code for that, so for example, let me comment first, otherwise that should be a fine. Okay, go to the next line, and you can start with the list dot stream. After that you can collect it, and inside the collector you can use the collectors, and inside the collectors having a one method called groupBy. So we can group the element. Okay, and while using a groupBy, you can grouping the element one element. Okay, for example, we have a one element, so this is the one element we are grouping, and we are also counting this value, like how many elements are available. So you can use collectors dot counting here also. Okay, and it will return one map, and inside the map you can see how many key and how many values are available. So this is the integer, and this is the long, you can see. Okay, and let me print this code also. So let me write s out, and we can print collect to. So in the collect to, you can see the output. Okay, 1 is available 3 times, 2 is available 3 times. Okay, and 3 is available 2 times, 4 is available 1 times, 5 is available 1 times. You can see the output. So even maybe this is the whatever we can say, like it's a string, or maybe it's something called other data also, you can use it. For example, it should not maybe it's a string or something else. You can apply on that also. In the same way we can do it. Okay, so in the so many times we can say like what is the frequency of the character string. In the same way, we have a list, and inside the list we have to find out the frequency. We can do it. Okay, this is the way. So I hope you understood, guys, what is the use of counting method. Okay, counting method in the streams. Now we are going to see some of the other methods. So let me check the slides. Next method is summing int, and as well we have discussed the average average int methods, or we can discuss the grouping method also. So group by we have already discussed, okay, in that before only returns a collectors that grouping the input element according to the classification function. So group by is also completed. And let's see the example of the summing int. So what is the use of summing int basically? So for example, we have a one list, okay, and let's write a summing int method or summing long methods. Okay, so based on the different type of the variables it will work. Let me remove those data which is duplicate, and I will give the list 1 or 2, maybe the 2. Okay, and I want to calculate the sum of all those elements. Okay, so what we can do with the stream API? So first we have a list which is 2. Okay, then after I will convert this list to the stream, and then after I will apply the collect method, and after applying collect method I can take the help of the collectors. Okay, and collector is available in the java.util.stream, and collector having a sum int method, sum long method. So if you want to add the long value, you can use the sum long summing long summing float like that. Okay, so if you want to add integer value, you can write like that, and then after inside the value having a integer, so you can write an integer class. You can take the method reference, and int value you have a method, so you can use it. Okay, and with that method you can find out what is the sum of this particular data, but it will return int summary statistics. Okay, so what it will take, summarizing int, it will take one function interface which is int. If you see here, its parameter is what? Int summary statistics is the what is the parameters collections, and it is the mutable. It will take the by consumers like that. Okay, so that is the method, guys. I hope you understood. Let me print this collect 3 so you can see what is the sum of this value. Okay, collect 3. Okay, if you see this value, so it will basically print, okay, what is the value it's printing? Count is 5, sum is 15, and minimum is 1, average is 3.9, and max is that one. So if you use this method, so it will find all the statistics related to that particular number. So it's saying like, okay, count number is 5, sum is 15, minimum is 1, average is 3 point something, and maximum is 5. So only with the help of this method only, summarizing int, you can find out each and everything. I hope you understood. Okay, with the help of this method only, summarizing double, you can find out each and everything. But if you want to print only one specific value, you can use get sum. Okay, so you can use the get sum, so it will print the sum only. It will not print all those data. Okay, so if you see the console now, the sum is what? 15. It's display. Okay, so I hope you understood how we can use the summarizing int, summarizing double. So here you just have to change the double if you have an element of the doubles. Okay, okay, in the same way, go to the next method. So I hope you can cover the long and double. Okay, it's the same way of the summarizing int, and average int also you can do with that one also. Okay, but let's use the averaging int also. Okay, what is the average of those data? Okay, so averaging int is also very simple only, it's not difficult. So what we can do is, here for example we have a averaging something like that, and we have a list and we want to find out the averaging. Okay, and maybe the list is nothing but, let's take the 3 list. So I will write here list 3 dot stream dot collect, And collect is very important. After collect only you can apply the collectors. Okay, so collect is very important for the collectors, and we are going to use the averaging. Okay, so averaging double, averaging int, averaging, it will take one two long function, two double function, two int function, like that. So we have a int value, so we can write like that. Okay, and after that you can write the semicolon, but it will not take, it will take one of the parameters. So what we can give, we can write like that. Okay, we can pass the value, and then after those value we have to do the sum, and we can store those data into the collect3. It will return the double, and those double value we can print easily, which is collect4. Okay, so if you print this value, you can see here, okay, the average value is 3.0 of 1 2 3 4 5. Okay guys, so I hope you understood how to use averaging also. Okay, but only things is you have to use collectors dot averaging, and you have to pass one to functional interface. Okay, and functional interface you know very well. Okay, in the same way we can discuss the min by, max by. Okay, and we have already covered the grouping by. Okay, so next, whatever the methods we have, we can discuss. Let's understand what is the use of min by or max by. So min by or max by is very important method also. If you see here, it's saying like min by is used to, it returned a collectors that find the minimum element according to the provided comparator. So basically inside the min by we can pass the comparator, and you already know what is the use of comparator for sorting the data. Okay, so whenever you want to sort the data, you can take the help of the min by. Okay, let's write a code for that so that you can understand in the better way. Min by. Okay, this is the methods we are going to use, and max by, both are the same only difference is min by will find out the minimum value, and max by will be find the maximum value. For example, you have a list of the employee, and in this employee you have to find out the employee who have a highest salary. Then you can take the help of the min by methods. Okay, how? For example, let's take the example like we have a one array list. Let's take this one array list. Okay, and inside this array list, if I talk about having a sum of the value, let me change the name, which is 5. And then after I'm going to use the stream, so list5 dot stream. Okay, after converting the streams, I will try to convert it, what convert means collect it. Okay, and we can use here collectors. Okay, and collectors having a methods which is min by or max by. So let me write min by. Okay, we can use the max by also. So if you pass the min by will ask you the comparator. Okay, but you don't have, so what we can do here, so we have some integer value here, so we can say integer. Okay, and you can use the compare. Okay, compare to methods. Okay, every wrapper class is having a compare to method, so we can use it, and through that we can assign those value in particular what data. So what you have seen here, so list of the stream, and we have collected the minimum value from this list with the help of the stream API. Okay, and with the help of the min by method. Okay, and what we got here, optional classes. What is the optional classes? But if you don't want the optional classes, what you can do, you can write here dot get method. So after getting the data, you can write the get method. So optional having a get method, and now if you control 1, if you do, it will store the value inside the one of the integer, and if you print those data, let me write s out. Okay, and let me write max or min value. So min, and what is the minimum value, I don't know, so let me print the integer. Okay, and if you run this code, you can see the output minimum value is what? 1. If you give here something minimum value is -10, yeah, -19, it will print. No issue in that. Let me format it. Okay, it will print -9 only. It's a minimum value. Okay, so it's working fine. So in that case you can use it. In the same way, if you want to go with the max by, right, it's the opposite of that one. So if you want to find out a mix by, let write a code for that. So mix by, and this is the list is nothing but, let me take the same list. Okay, I don't want another list, but here I have to change the value. But before going to change the value, let me remove this one, and let me write max by, and same thing, no any other things will be changed. Let me store this data. So it is stored in the integer 2. So here I will write integer 2, and I will change it to max. That's it. So what is the maximum value? Which is 5. So it will print maximum value is what? 5. Okay, so even if it is a array, or even it's a any of the list, you can easily convert it, array to the list to the array, and you can do the operations. Okay, so I hope you understood what is the use of min by or max by. Okay, next we can see the slide, and you can see like what is the min by and max by. We have discussed it. Group by we have already discussed. What is the partitioning by? So partitioning by is also very important. Okay, what is the part? For example, you have some list of the data. Let's check this one only. Okay, and partitioning, let me take the example of this one. Partition methods. So if you see this list, inside this list having a sum of the data, let me change the name, it's called 6. Let me remove the 9 1, and this is the value we have, and let me give some more value. Okay, so this is the value we have up to 10. Okay, now I want to find out the numbers which is greater than something. Otherwise I want to break this list into the 2 part, from up to 5. Okay, up to 5 I have to break into the 2 part. If it is yes, I will put inside this. If it is false, I will put inside this. Okay, so how we can do? I have to make it to the 2 part. So what we can do is, for example, we have a list 6. We can convert it into the stream first, and then after those streams we can write a collect, and collect having a collector methods, right? And through the help of the collectors we can use the method called partition. Okay, and partition will take the predicate. So predicate is nothing but filter only. Okay, right? So partitioning by is nothing but it's a filter only, so you can pass your filter. Okay, what is the filter? So filter is nothing but true or false. Okay, so here I will pass the each and every element. I have to check if it is greater than whatever the elements we have. If it is greater than 5, if it is greater than 5, I have to store in some other place. If it is less than 5, I have to store some other place. Okay, and let me call the get. Okay, and then I will store this data. Don't write it get also, just store like that, and assign this element. So what will happen? It will run the map. What map will do? So map will do the true and false. For example, boolean true and false. So if it is true, it will store in one list. If it is false, it will store in another list. Okay, let me display the output so that you can understood in the better way. Let me break first. Okay, let me break first, and then after I will print the output. So what is the output? Collect 5. You can give any name, don't worry. And this is the map. Okay, and if you run this code, you can see what is the output. So it means what is the output is false 1 2 3 4 5 it is stored, and true 6 7 8 9 10. In the same way, for example, you have a list of not a number, list of the employee, or maybe the list of the student, and you have to filter how many employee and why, how many employees are there, and in that employee how many girls and how many females and how many male employees are there in my company. For that you have to write a code. Okay, so what you can do, you have a list of the employee. In that employee, what you can do, you can create you can convert the list of the employee into the one stream, and then after you can apply to the collect. After collectors you can partitioning it. After partitioning by, you can use here, you can filter with the male and female. Okay, so if it is male you can store in one place, if it is otherwise you can use the grouping by also. So in grouping by you can use the group by here, and while using a group by you can differentiate it, what is the male and how many are the females. Okay, simply. So in that situation you can use it, but I have show you normally, okay, how exactly it will work and what is the process of it and how it will display the output. Okay, I hope guys you understood. Okay, so we have understood what is the partition also. Let me go with the some other methods. The other method is nothing but we have a joining methods, we have a mapping methods, reducing methods. So I hope you already know those methods. Okay, but let us take the example. Okay, so joining method will take the help of the collectors that concatenate with the input into the single string separated by the empty delimiters, and this is something called returns a collectors that concatenate with the input stream. So it's a very good example I will give you. For example, you have a list of the alphabet, okay, maybe the characters. So this is the list of the characters we have. Okay, the character is nothing but we have is something called like that. So maybe the character is something called A or J. Java is so JA. Okay, and we can make it one more characters which is JAV. Okay, and A. So this is the one of the characters, list of the characters we have defined here, and I want to convert this list of the characters into the joining method. With the help of the joining methods I have to convert it. Joining methods. So I have a list of the characters, and those characters I have to convert, okay, into one of the like what we called okay, we have a list of the characters, and those characters I have to convert in one of the string, not characters. So what we can do here, so for example we have a characters list, so char1 list dot stream, and once you convert to the streams, what we can do, we can use the collect methods. Okay, while using the collectors you can use the joining methods also for collecting those data. But before going to do all those things, you have to understood how we can put all those data in one place. Okay, so we can take the help of the collectors. Okay, so this is the collectors dot what we called joining. Okay, my system language is changed, let me change it to English. So first you have to convert this map to the whatever the streams we have, you have to convert to the value which is object type. So whatever the maps we have, so we can write it like that. So whatever the strings and string reference variables, value of, okay, and then after you can use the collect, and after collect you can use the collectors, and inside the collectors you can pass joining. Okay, and it will store all those data in one place, and it will return one string. Okay, and these strings you can easily print it out. Okay, what is the methods? Collectors 6. Okay, let me run this code so that you can understand in a better way. So this you can see, that is the Java. So I hope guys you understood what are the methods we have, and we have discussed all those methods, and it's a very important method. You can find out what is the use of the mapping and reducing. Reducing I have already discussed. You can find out the mapping. Okay.